move to 412 to build behavior element related information into our ontology. The representative behavior element is called the service. So you can feel that is kind of a motion-based element within the ArchiMate. So before we move into that, the actual action, so I want to show you here is the if I want to put our GitHub. So let me go to the GitHub site and let's look at our current ArchiMate ontology. So within that, as I mentioned this earlier, as you can see here in the source is already 5 different the ontology files, and every time is we keep updating is you will find this latest version in the root. And after every video, when we did any change on the ontology, there will be a snapshot here. So since this is the number 015 video, so last is 014 and 016, and we already have last 3 video. Every video we're starting to touch base our ontology file. So you may find those snapshot, and on the GitHub is the same. It's mirrored from our source, so you can have all of those. And we also show you is how to read those RDF files. So RDF file is in XML based, so you have a certain prefix. I also expect is you can familiar of those prefix, because when you're starting to use Sparkle, you may see here is those are the first 4 is the predefined prefix. So one is the RDF, second is the O, and then the RDFS and the XSD. So when you do the Sparkle query, you don't need this XML the prefix, but the rest of the 4 are almost all kinds of the Sparkle query engine. You need to have those, and you may notice here is I create our AR is ArchiMate, the short name, and to point to our own the this prefix or this IRI of our ontology. Then you can starting to make those prefix to indicate specific our own ontologies element into the query. So and within this RDF file, after the prefix, you may see the different section like this object property. We don't have a data property yet, so it's not creating those header. And we have the class. And then after class is the individual. It depends on this creating. So we notice that is when we create the first notation like this subclass comments, this active structure element is adding as the second line within class chapter. But when we create more notation, it's starting to have our annotation section. So my this external, internal active structure element, they have the separate these areas here, but they have the same result, because when we search for this one, so you may see is we have several of those elements, and they also exist in the class level. So here is the class you can see, and we have this one. Frankly speaking, is if you work in this fully you want to coding your RDF file, you can definitely add those comments line to here and delete those annotation section. That will no change to your content of your the ontology, because ontology is just like a list of the triple. As long as you have the valid subject and here is the predicate and the object, then your triple is valid. Then you can this RDF file will be able to read into those ontology editor tools. But I will not change from the source part because we are working from this ontology tool. So let's go to the 412. So I hope it's during this course, as I mentioned, is we have three major objectives. One is to learn. The key objective is to learn ArchiMate 3.2. Second objective is to learn how to practice using the Prodigy ontology editor. And finally we will build, I hope it's all kinds of the Metamodel in every detail of this specification into one ontology. And also we leave numbers of the snapshots for you to capture and starting from any step of the progress. And the third one is we haven't seen that yet now, but very soon you may see it's within the specification. There's a sample ArchiMate diagram just to show you how those elements can be used as the practical way. So, and then this I will also starting to use Archi tool to show you, and let's also practice hands-on those skills using Archi. So that is the third one. Is I hope is after this course or this series of the videos, you also accumulate a list of this sample diagram in your own, because when you practice more, you will feel more confidence to use ArchiMate and communicate ArchiMate language with your talking partners or the stakeholders. So that three parts, I hope you can treat them equally important. But let's focus on the language as the core. So second one is the behavior element. So let's come to here. This is my class. So first is as usual is I starting to work on this the min file. So behavior element. So when we typing into our ontology, try to remember those key meanings. Represents what? The dynamic aspects of the enterprise. So that is the dynamic, and those structure is kind of those static. So those are the things when we have these parties, we see active structure is element are the subject that perform behavior. Passive we haven't. We will do that is 413. But we don't have a structure element. Let me see. So I think it's we have some definition. I hope it's here. Do we? Structure, concepts. So core element. Let me try to find this business layer. Here we have the active, passive. Here, behavior, and that is the active structure, passive structure. There's no on this structure levels definition. Let me see here, real life code data. Behavior represent the behavior, process, function, events, and the services performed by the actor. Structure element. Oh, here. Structure element are assigned to behavior element to show who and what display the. Let's put this as our notation. So structural element are assigned to behavioral elements to show who or what displays the behavior. So that we can treat that as our comments for that, but we also have some more comments here. The behavior of this, oh, that's no need here. And then let's move to our 412 concepts, behavior, generic, some structure element, generic, the structure, noun, behavior is verb. Behavior can be, they don't have our definition directly because they just mentioned this is split into the active and the passive. But that's fine. So similar to active structure element, behavior element can be subdivided by external, internal. But we also see we have our event. So let's leave on that for now. So an internal behavior element represents a unit of activity. So when we see the activity, try to put this business process into your mind that can be performed by one or more active structure elements. So from the notation perspective, you will also notice here is the rounded corner. Here is just the rectangle. And for the passive structure or structure element, both are the round. Just a rectangle. So when we have our ArchiModel, so let me open the Archi here. So put our new file, so you can see here. You don't directly see the rectangle or the this kind of the square, but you can look at from here. So when you look at help, I think it's from here. Oh, here is doesn't have that as well. But when you drag that like these components as the application, this is a structure. And if when we see the collaboration, this is a structure element. But when we see some motion related thing like a business process, you see the right corner. And if I see our application service is also round corner, and here is the application interaction round corner. So that means they are the behavior, the element. So that is based on the active or passive structure. They can be the behavior is normally as the triple is the predicate. The active the structure elements will be the this subject, and the passive can be the object. Passive is normally is like this data object. You are not very common to see data object trigger our business process. Is one application component is using business process read our data the object, all the business object or product. So those are the those passive the structure element. So with those is let's focus on the behavior. So we have internal, and then we also have the external. So an external behavior element called a service. It's like this external active structure element is called our interface. So this is called a service. Service means which we exposed to the external. So that is most of the cases your external customer doesn't need to know or have the visibility to your internal business process. But they may know you provide a certain service, like it's when a customer come to the counter of a bank. They don't need to know is you have our cash management process, you have the operation process, but they need to know is no matter what kind of the internal process, you provide our deposit service. or cash withdrawal service, or you can make some investment consulting service. So those are the things when you provide to the external as a behavior. So those is represent an explicitly no e defined exposed behavior. So to distinguish what can be exposed to external or what doesn't need to be exposed, then you can distinguish what are the external behavior, what are the internal behavior. So then this when we have look at this behavior element are denoted in the standard icon graphic using box with a rounded corner and the icon in the upper right. Icon in the upper right is always the there is a behavior or there is a style of the ArchiMate. So thus a service is the external visible. So with that is got me is our way is last time is we change we put that is the interface, you remember? So when we see the external active structure, I put interface as our this individual. But now I may change that because within interface you may have three different layers: business, application, technology interface. So that can be more the individual's to interface, because when you create interface as the individual level, individual cannot include another individual in the hierarchy way. So from here is now we face a service. We also have a business service, application service, and technology service. It's also wise that you change this to our this this class. But let me see is I may not be able to change that rename entity. Change. Let's see whether I can change that. Convert property to annotation. Property assertion on class. Copy. Convert this to sum. I don't think it's we can convert that to class. Make all individual. So expose this refactor. So that is the rename. You can see rename more, change IRI. So that is the IRI is currently just within here. So change our ontology IRI, convert to label. So create a label. So that is also not a way. So we cannot do those one. Then what I need to do is let me copy over this one, and I will create our subclass under external. So here is the interface, and within the interface, so an interface provide external view. So that is coming from this one. Let me see here. This interface provide an external view of the internal structure. Let me delete this one. And now I have, let me see here, doesn't have those. So now I put this interface as my class level. So let me clear. So here, if I put this external, so later on you can see external including the interface, and is upper level is this one, and that is also the active structure element. So that is the upper one, and this is the common instance and create. I will later on, no need to create interface. I will create different levels interface. So back to here. So this is a change to the 014 ontology. So that will be very common is when you move on more detail on the ontology design, you will always or very frequently to face like what I'm doing now is changing some the definitions or the type of your the ontology element. Sometimes you will promote that to a class from individual because that's not relevant trait as the individual anymore, since you may have some child of those elements. So that's similar to now the behavior. So when we see the behavior is the service is the external visible behavior. So service, I will external. So I may create this one. So that is our service with our definition. So service is the externally visible behavior of the providing system from the perspective of systems that use that services. The environment consists of everything outside this providing system. So those are the notation for our service. And let me save on that. The value offered to user of the service provide the motivation for the existence of the service. That is the reason, or you can see this motivation equal to the value proposition of your service. So that is judged by your external user or external customer. If customer doesn't treat this service has any value or any motivation, it is the time for you as the enterprise is to think about this service or either out of date or need to be decommissioned or need to be evolved. For the user, only this expose the behavior and value together with non-functional aspects such as the quality of service, cost are relevant. So as I mentioned, when the user come to your, if you are open a bank and they come to your counter, they don't care of your internal accounting service, internal cash management service. They care about what they can have the visibility. So these can be specified in a contract or service level agreements. Services are accessible through interface. So here, this sentence later on, we will translate that is to the relationship between the service element to the interface element. In addition to this, a third type of behavior element is defined as the event to denote an event that can occur, for example, signal a state. So that's why we put this event separately. So we put that as our equally level of class first represents a state change. So if that is the now is on and later on is changed to the this off, then that will be the events. So events can also have different events in the Archi2. So if you see here, so those are the events. So business events, and you may see here application events, technology events. So three layers. We also have three types of the events. An event may have a time attribute that indicate the moment of or moment on at which the event happened. For example, this can be used to model time schedule. So that is the Archi2. As I mentioned to you, is if you use the ontology-based this essential tool, when you come to our business, let me see when I model our business process. So let me create our any process. So let me find this Australia. I have one process sample. So this is our another tool. It's not based on fully the ArchiMate language, but it's based on the essential Metamodel, which I introduced briefly as well. You can also see some events like this start events and are the events, and here is initiating events raised events. So when they have this round, they are the events. So when I put in this one, so all this starting. So when you click those one, you may say here is those are the events name, and you can use the in this process flow. Then those are your events you may trigger for those. So and that is the timing perspective, and also here is some raised events is can be the scheduling the perspective or the moment perspective. So with that is we have our current updated ontology with adding 412 the behavior element, and I will save on until now and also copy this to our 0.5 015. When you compare this one with 014, then you may keep in mind is I have changed those interface element from individual to class now. So that is the evolving of our ontology. So hope you follow the video, then know the logic is why I did that, because I am trying to make preparation for later the more the detailed Metamodel build up. So with that is we finish this 412. Next one is we will be the last one for this chapter 4.1. Let's build quickly about this passive structure element. So see you then. Bye.